here's our basket of toys.
Okay.
See? Here's our basket of toys. Okay, I want you to pick one. Which is it going to sink or float?
Sink.
Looks like it's floating. No, we're not going to throw water. We're playing sink or float. Looks like it floats. He floats. Let's see. Does he sink or float?
Does he float?
That one sinks. Does that sink or float?
Float.
Float? Okay, this one. Sink or float?
Sink.
Sink. Sink or float?
Float.
Float. Sink. Sink or float? It floats too. That one floats. Let's open this and get more light in here. Push this back a little bit. Sink or float?
Float.
Float. Sink or float?
Float.
Float? Good. Is it going to sink or float? What's next? Pick one.
This one.
Sink or float?
Float.
Sink or float?
Float.
Oh, it sunk to the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sink or float?
Float.
Float? Yeah, it does float. Sink or float?
This
Is it going to sink or float?
float.
Float? Let's see. Yep, they float. Sink or float?
Float. Take your float.
Sink or float?
Float.
Yay. Okay. It floats. Is it sink or float?
This one.
Sink or float?
Float.
Float? Okay, drop them in the water. We'll see. And it floats. Does it sink or float?
Float in the water.
Float in the water. Very good.
This is for the water.
Sink or float?
Float. Yeah.
Hey, you're right. Yay, Toby. Sink or float?
This
Is it going to sink or float?
Float.
Float? Drop it in, we'll see. And he was right. Yay, Toby.
See here.
Sink or float?
Float.
Let's see. Looks like it floats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are a match.
Yeah, they match. Sink or float?
Float.
Float? Yay! They float. Nice job.
T.
B. Sink or
B.
float?
Float.
Float? Yay! Good job. You are so smart. Sink or float?
Float.
Alright, let's see. And it floats. Sink or float?
Float. It's jumping in
Float.
water.
Yeah. Did that float?
Yeah, that float.
Okay, so here's what we figured out so far. These foam shapes, letters, these foam letters and numbers, they float, right? This piece of bread,
This with the froggy.
this piece of bread floats. The frog he just threw in there floats. Here's our Ronald McDonald, and he floats. The little people over there, and the boats, these little cups, they float.
Float.
The fishy, there's a whale,
Whale.
a frog, my phone is acting up, frog, duck, lifeguard. There's a big dolphin. And then these animals for the bottom of the tub, they sank, right?
Right.
Right. This goes to one of your toys for the side of the thing that this lifeguard goes to. For the side of the tub, right?
This is a dolphin swimming.
And let's see here. This is the thing I'm talking about. This. Is this going to sink or float?
Float.
Float? Well, Mommy's going to drop it in. We'll see if it sinks or floats.
Float.
Well, it looks like it might be trying to sink.
It just does a ducky.
See, that just sticks to the side of the tub with this in it, right?
But this is a dolphin.
Whoa. Sticks to the side of the tub just like that. Yeah. It's got a slide. And your little beach goer, whoops, can go down a slide and into the water. All right.